have another YouTube video for you guys today, and it is the purpose of insurance. I think there's probably a lot of people that don't maybe understand like what insurance is and why you want it. And I want to just kind of explain at a high level why insurance is important, and it's important to any financial plan. I'm not going to go over the different types of insurance. I'll cover that in a separate video, but that's what I'm going to talk about today. But before I go any further, if you are getting value out of my content, there are 4 simple things that I want you to do. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, tell your friends about it, and then hit the alert button so you get alerted when I release new videos. And I know it's been a little bit. Actually, last week we were in Europe and we got to go to London and France, and it was a very enjoyable trip. I will definitely be back, but I am happy to be back and creating some new content for you. So let's start talking about what is insurance. I'm going to use my whiteboard because I like to write on my whiteboard. I was about to write. So let's talk about what the purpose of insurance is, because I think a lot of people get confused, like, well, why do I need insurance, or how do I buy it? What am I doing? Like, there's all these different limits, deductibles, all of this other mumbo jumbo, and it gets complicated. But at the what is the bare necessity? Like, what is the purpose of insurance? 2 words. And I'm going to write them in all caps. You are transferring risk. That is what you're doing when you buy insurance. That is the definition of what you are doing. You are transferring risk. How is that illustrated? Well, let's say you have a house, right? And I am not an artist. I wish I was. I wish I was good as Leonardo da Vinci, but I'm not. So I won't quit my day job to be an artist, but we'll make a little house here, right? And let's say you paid, I don't know, $500,000 for this house, and you have a loan on it, okay? So you got your little house here. Right? What happens if we have a tornado hit this house, or we have a fire, or we have a hurricane if you live down south? What happens? What happens to this if that is destroyed? Right? You have to rebuild that. If you don't have insurance, you have to rebuild that. That's the risk. The risk, pay to fix. So you have to pay to fix that, right? You have to pay if your house is damaged or destroyed, however it is, you have to pay to fix it, right? Well, how many people, unless you're absolutely wealthy, have $500,000 that they just want to and let's assume that the cost of construction materials and stuff hasn't gone up. So do you have that money just sitting around ready to rebuild your house again? Probably not. Probably not. So what happens here is we're going to say, let's say this is your risk. What we're going to do is we're going to transfer that to the insurance company. And let me get in front of here. We're going to transfer that over to the insurance company. We're going to take this risk and we're going to transfer it over. Now, what we're also going to do is pay some premium. We're going to pay money to the insurance company. We're paying them a premium in exchange for they are assuming the risk. They are simply saying, okay, Matt, if your house is damaged in a tornado, we'll pay for you to get it rebuilt, less deductible. You know, maybe it's $5,000, maybe it's $1,000, whatever it is. You'll pay that, but we'll pay the rest. We'll get it rebuilt. And maybe we'll charge you $2,000 a year to do that. So what you're doing is you're giving them money and they're taking on your risk. So that risk is off the table for you. So now something bad happens, you're like, okay, not a big deal. The insurance company is going to pay for it. I'm not going to pay, I'm only going to pay my deductible. So this is a high level thing. And you can apply this to different types of insurance. Here's the thing. When you think about your life, it's full of risks, right? And there's, you know, when you think about risks, you know, you have your health, you know, life, auto, you know, the list goes on, home. There's 4 of them right there. So what's health insurance do? It transfers the risk, right? In other words, God forbid you get sick or get a heart attack or something like that. You know, obviously I know health insurance is kind of a hot topic, but depending on how you do with that, you can transfer the risk. And you can simply say, hey, I'm going to pay you a premium, and that way if my hospital visits go above my deductible, you're paying for them. Same with life insurance. What's that do? You're protecting your family. The risk is that they lose your income should you pass away. Again, we have auto and home. It's probably the ones you got, you know, most common. How about disability? What happens if you're disabled? You can't work. What happens if you can't work? Right? You gotta have a way to provide income. Well, that insures your income. So I'm just saying, like, you think about your life as risks, and this is what insurance is meant to do. You can even take something like your cell phone, right? You know, you have your cell phone, you have your iPhone, whatever. And what do they offer? What does Apple offer? Apple Care. So what they'll say is, hey, you pay us $10-12 a month, and we'll protect your phone. And that way, if it breaks, if someone steals it, whatever, well, you'll get a new phone. You'll pay a couple $100. How much are these new phones now? $1,500, $1,300, whatever they are. So that's another form of insurance. And here's the thing. You may be self-insured, right? In other words, could you afford to buy another phone? Probably. You know, if it broke, would you be pissed? Yeah, I get it. But you could probably afford to buy another phone. And if that's the case, and that's a drop in the bucket, well, then probably you don't need Apple Care. But maybe you're like, hey, I'm kind of clumsy. I drop my phone a lot. I'm in kind of a high crime area. And if that's the case, it may make economical sense for you to buy the insurance. Even though you might have tons of money and able to replace it, it may make sense for you. Because maybe you have a history of losing phones. Maybe you have a history of breaking them. And so, you know, again, that's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to, when you're picking insurance, you have to ask yourself, what are the risks that you are trying to protect against? And that will tell you the types of insurance that you need to buy. And you can pretty much insure anything. So they get creative with that. So hopefully this helps, and it helps just kind of simplify down like what insurance actually is. And if you have any questions, you always feel free to drop me a comment, or you can leave me a DM. And again, I hope you got a lot of value out of this video, and just be sure to share it with your friends. I'm really trying to help spread financial education to everybody. And so I want to definitely talk about all of these topics, and insurance is no exception. So you all have a fantastic day, and it's Friday here, so crush the weekend.